Good morning, children. How are you today? What are you doing, Sang? Do it right. Finally combine all the gems. Where are we? We aren't at a turnum. As much as I'd like to be. We all want to go back to a turnum. Don't we all want terrifying... Alright. There we go. A little bit of a fucking malfunction on the old wrist. Alright, how are we doing? That's on, that's on. That's on, that's on. Alright. Today, we start with, bing! Everest, the Iceman's apprentice. I mean, was that Iceman, like, the corpse found? I don't think it was found in Everest, but I think it was found in that kind of general vicinity. And understand general vicinity from the point of view of an Australian can be an awfully large space. But that's what I think of when I think of Iceman. I think he has a name too, but I can't remember it. It was probably like fucking written on his little pouch, you know? Like the dude had a pouch, and in the pouch was like healing herbs and shit. Just so fucking wild. You know, just there he is, frozen and frozen in time. A little bit of a twinge in my right wrist today. I think it's just a tendon getting a bit squished sometimes. I never know whether or not to apply heat or fucking cold. Because I feel like some of it is like the heat relaxes the muscles, but then like that doesn't really, you know, it doesn't take the pain away if it's like inflamed. You know, but then sometimes with cold on it, it's like, this doesn't feel right either. Stop bothering me, machine. Or at least accurately bother me with the YouTube nitwits today. Alright, where are we? Where's my fucking little do not disturb? It's got do not disturb on. What the fuck are you doing? I asked not to be disturbed. Iceman's name was Brennan Fraser. I didn't want that. Damn it, now you've put squeezing the juice back in my head. It took a long time to get Pauly Shore out of my brain. Okay. Alright, look, I don't need a tutorial to climb Mount Everest, alright? It's just up. You just go up. I don't need a map. See? How easy is this? I mean, like, fucking, isn't K1 meant to be harder anyway? I didn't put any of these names in, I want you to understand that. I don't know who Emr is, I'll be Stan. Okay. Pre-monsoon feels like the best time to go. Winter seems like you're picking two fights. Post-monsoon feels like there'd be a bunch of extra shit. It's a fucking autism game for climbing the mountain. That is pretty fucking dull. I mean, you know, alright, it's probably not going to be some kind of fucking action thing. I don't think they'd even invented stamina bars when, you know, this was made. I don't know how you're going to have a climbing game with no stamina bars. Almost deleted Everett's The Ultimate Adventure, as opposed to Everest, the Iceman's Apprentice. Alright. Every day. Just like this. Over and over and over again. I mean, there's an end in sight for this at least. I can't say there's no end in sight. Because I'm up to E. Some are going to drag. Like E. But, you know... I really hope Tony and Andrea fucking made it, you know? I'd hate to say something like that and then just, you know, you break up. Because then you're just an idiot, you know? It's 10:25 a.m. Another day. All right, look, an ellipsis. This is a pet peeve, and I'll admit it. It's tiny, but like, it's 3 dots. Okay, you do not ever need to go beyond 3 dots outside of some kind of visual effect that you're creating, and that's a very specific thing. Doesn't need to be a fucking dozen. Okay, just 3 dots is the ellipsis. That's all you need to do. This is getting a little sad. At least I have somewhere that I can call home, and above all, I have someone to love, knowing that the same someone will love me back. Do I need excitement? Well, Miss Harrison, the chance would be a fine thing. Okay, oh, I am Andrea. This is weird. I don't want to be part of this guy's strange fucking relationship issues. I mean, it doesn't say Andrea is even like his wife or girlfriend or anything. Like, that's, you know, it might just be like the lady at the fucking library that he uses the public computers at to make his text adventure games, you know? Oh, fuck.
Oh, Lord.
Wow, this one has graphics. It says designed as a shareware program. Okay, it's the shareware thing. Is SAC supposed to be a capital SA? Options, inspect. Enter, is it like, I'm assuming it's just the first letter, you know. Alright, no, I don't want to inspect. Like, how do I get out? Okay, there we go. I just makes it go to, like, fucking... Alright, where's... Why? E doesn't make me enter the dungeon. I makes me inspect, but E doesn't make me enter the dungeon. What madness. Alright, look, fucking, you know... I mean, that was... Oh, God, please be something. Oh, oh. This might be something. I mean, even if it's a point-and-click adventure game about, like, you know, a point-and-click procedural, there are fucking, what are they? Law and Order games. But they're in that kind of weird bubble that can be tricky to find and get running. Evidence. Alright, come on, baby, let's do this. I think this is like, this might even be, it looked like a point and, like, I was gonna say a point-and-click shooter. It looked like a light gun shooter, which is basically a point-and-click shooter, still. My Christmas present to me was buying another fucking light gun. Because I got, like, the machine gun, and it does have force feedback. But it's like, the thing is, the plastic shell's pretty big, and the force feedback's just not very powerful when it's, like, getting dispersed through all that. I spent the like, fucking $250 and got one of the fucking ones, the Time Crisis style that has the slide. That was my treat. I got myself the slide fucking light gun, and, you know. That's just evidence of a thriving economy. Alright. So far, so good. Welcome to the rifle warehouse, where we'll safely store your rifles. There are a lot of different kind of emergency vehicles getting some representation here, which is interesting, because like normally if it's just like the police, You could make a light gun fireman game, I suppose, if you have just like, you know, the hose. Like that is something I'm surprised actually didn't show up in arcades. You know, because novelty machines with novelty controls were
My name
fucking...
is Daniel Singer.
Okay.
Personally, I prefer Dan.
Well, I'm gonna call you Singsy.
That's not important. I'm your on-the-spot type reporter for Channel Z News. Like today, for example, I had
Maybe
to
it is a
interview
point-click
McCrowney
adventure
and
game.
Joan Atwood, both candidates in the municipal elections.
Fuck yeah.
And to be honest,
Municipal
all this
elections.
political stuff bores me. Anyway,
That's
what
why
else
your
can I
country
tell
is in the state that it's in.
I've got a mother who I write to on a
Boring
regular
stuff's
basis.
important sometimes.
She lives 600 miles away, so for obvious reasons, I don't get to see her too often. But
This
the
whole
most
thing is about a
important
guy who
news
should
is
visit
that
his
I'm
mum more.
single
It was made by
again.
mums. For
Sarah
mums.
and I broke up recently. We never had too much time for each other anyway. I was always out reporting while she was at
The light gun, you can use it on a lot, but I've got it on the arcade cabinet
so
outside.
anyway, we're both free agents now, and everything's back to normal. So, what am I going to do now? Watch some TV? Write to my mother? Or just sit back and relax in my armchair?
Well, we might answer the telephone. Alright. Where is the landline in this godforsaken... I mean, is that a coffee machine or something? Like, alright, look, is that the phone over here? Ah, okay.
Hi, Dan.
There we go.
What are you up to?
So, I thought that the phone might be on the table. But here's what happened. It was a black rectangle, and my brain just said, that's a tablet. Should be changing.
Last report. Man, that was great. See you around.
I mean, part of me is disappointed
Dan?
that it's not a light gun game, but
Pick up the phone, please. Oh well.
this is
I
intriguing.
can't talk about
You
this
know?
on the phone, but anyway, you won't believe your ears. It's the story of the century. It's dynamite and then some.
There is a fireman light gun game?
For heaven's sake, get over
Look
here
at that.
fast.
What is it? Because
Dan?
that feels like something I'd have heard of.
Come quickly.
But you can see,
think
like,
that's some kind
there
of
being, like, a fireman game in the arcade, and you go pick up, and the guns are hose instead. And it'd probably have some kind of air pump in it so the hose can get fat and, like, not fat when it's, like, fucking getting used and shit. I better phone Sarah. Wonder what she's up to. But yeah, so you can get any of the modern light gun systems. I'd recommend the gun for IR. It uses 4 points,
Dan?
and it means you can
It's Sarah.
line of sight
Can
aim.
you come over right away?
You basically put like, it's kind of like, you know how the Wii had the little sensor bar at the top, except someone put some actual thought into it, and rather than just having 2 bits at the top that sort of just don't really help all that much, you have a bit at the 1 bit on like each side, and then the fucking game, you know, the computer knows where the fucking pointer is to a precise degree.
What's happened? You sound worried.
I can't explain over the phone. It would take too long.
You know, look, let's just, like, this feels like an argument, but, like, we'll just,
Okay, I'll be there in 10 minutes.
if I'm gonna get yelled at, I'm gonna get yelled at. I look Brave Firefighters up. How old is it? Is that my car? This is interesting, because I feel like I have a lot of options in that opening bit there, you know? Like, I didn't even call Mum. Okay. Alright, that doesn't appear to do anything. Oh. Alright. Good ol'... Alright. Let me back out. Oh, yeah, okay. Alright, look. How... Like a map? Okay, no. Okay, let's have a look at the options. that wasn't helpful. I don't know. It's my fault. I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have thought it was going to be helpful. I'm sorry, Sarah. I can't get to you. I can't figure out what to click on. Alright, brave firefighters. I need to see this just a second. It is! It's exactly what I dreamed! I think it was like a Japan only. Yeah, look, it's got tubes. It's on Hikaru. I might be able to emulate that, actually. Ha! I know something does Hikaru. I can't remember what, but I know there is something. I've probably got it, actually. I think I downloaded a full Sega Arcade fucking set. But yeah, while I've got you here, so I got, you know, this is the little, the one of the ones I've got. Now this just has a little like controller vibration thing in it, so it rumbles when you pull the trigger. This is a fisheye lens. That means you can use it a little bit closer to the screen because it lets you see, you know, the LEDs. Let's put it down here. I mean, I did try to use this on one of the DOS games, but I couldn't get it to work. It was driving me nuts. And yeah, if you go on AliExpress, you can find a bunch of them. There are, you know, a lot of interesting bits and bobs. For the longest time, and for obvious reasons, I've wanted one like the fucking Time Crisis where the slide fucking clicks when you fucking fire it. And I decided to finally spell myself with that. That will interface with a computer or, you know, I'm pretty sure there's like stuff so you can use it with Batacera and a few other Linux, you know, emulation systems and things. And it just gets interpreted as the mouse. And so anything that lets you use a mouse for something, you can use that as, you know, you could play point and click adventure games with it if you were so inclined. Yeah. But that's interesting. I'm fascinated by the last report. Look at that. Just and I see that, like, yeah, look at that. That's, you know, if you love investigations chock full of action and incitement, you know, this really did kind of tickle me. I'm kind of, you know, aside from some of the, you know, quaint novelty. I mean, look at this. You know, credit where it's due, the German fucking thing is way better. Like, that hides the weaknesses and emphasizes the strengths. You know? Like, play a video game. Shoot a woman in the back. Now she's not running away. So there is a bottom menu. I swear I moved the mouse all the way down. I don't know why I didn't get that. But that's an interesting one. I haven't heard of evidence. That's a keeper. Ooh, evil crypt. Ah. Still, I'm in a slightly better mood after fucking evidence. That seemed interesting. No House of the Dead or Time Crisis is depressing. I have all of those games. And it fucking rules. Looks like a pasta strainer. Do you want instructions? Yes, no, queer. What does Q do? Quits. That's fair. Alright, let's at least have a look. Doldrums. This is some insane choices were made here. Spaceman is at me. You are Willy the Wizard. Like that's my view. For some reason it's a box. I don't know why it's a box. And this guy... This game was built for a system so malnourished that it had to use the fucking Doom thing where you shrink the screen to get it to run at like fucking speed for what looks like graphics not even one of those graphing calculators could manage. Like, I think just a regular calculator could probably do that. That is not my cup of tea. 1992. I pushed delete, damn you. There we go. Evolution is a mystery. But yeah, the slide action I'm really looking forward to. It's gonna be fun. And I'm in that fucking thing of that and like waiting for my Retroid 4 Pro to ship too, just like that was fun. I think I was just watching a bunch of shit come there. Alright, let's slow this down and then restart it, because I want to see that funny little dance. We'll go there. Alright, that seems a bit better. Sydney Development Corporation presents Evolution. I hate that it's not centered. Why? Why would you... The fucking City Development Corporation is centered. Okay. Amoeba, frog, mouse. Like, I feel like this is missing... Oh, that's great. That's the gorilla. And look, he's wearing pants. That was fun. I enjoyed that. I mean, technically they're getting... Normally the fish that like the light are like, oh fuck, check that thing out, and they go look at it. It's wild that the only box they've got for something that I think was clearly developed in English is from Japan. I always think about that, like the lure thing, you know. And just my little novelty canon for Earth is that things like this do exist for humans, but we just can't see them, and that's why there's like, you know, you got to pay attention to the missing persons rate, you know. Like, there'll just be one of these, but its thing just looks like a post box, you know. Yup, you're just fiddling with it and then just hump. Well, like an American school, I'm deleting Evolution. Chinese, okay. Excelsior! Loading. Excelsior! It's the only way to pronounce that. I'm sorry. I didn't make that rule. But I will aggressively enforce it. Ooh. Can I upgrade Excelsior? Torpedoed the Xbox One? That doesn't ring a bell. What was that about? I mean, the Xbox One did come out, didn't it? Like, I didn't have some kind of weird stroke and imagine a whole generation of game. Or did he literally fire a torpedo at one for some kind of YouTube thing? It's hard to know what's going on these days. Just wondering why this was taking so fucking long, and I remembered I fucking made my computer retarded so I could watch the fucking evolution dance. What am I doing? I haven't been paying attention. Alright, space does something. Alright, start an adventure. Ah, fuck, they always gotta make me fucking do shit. I'm going to be a giant anus. A super intelligent anus giant. No one can understand me. Alright. Am I done now? Okay. Huh, I can't lower stuff. That's interesting. But I am a very charming anus. And I'm a scholar. And I have dark eyes. And fucking music. I'm a good anus. You stand 15th in line waiting for your turn to appear before the great council of world watchers. Like Wizard? The World Watcher? Was it Wizard? That was an unfortunate sentence. Was it Wizard? Widget. I think it was Widget, actually, the World Watcher. We have a console for people who want to play offline in the 360. The sad thing is the Kinect is really interesting fucking hardware and really fucking cool, but like, you know, you gotta like, maybe give it more utility. Like, it'd be good if you could just plug it into Windows, you know? I mean, at least I can just, you know, walk my giant anus around using the arrow keys. I'll give it that. Uh-huh. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Stop it. I don't know. I don't have... I'm just getting hit by things, you know? Some mean people hit my anus. Fuck, mate. You know, aside from fucking evidence, it's just been these things. It's so weird how I just get clusters of this shit, you know? Oh, I remember this. I remember really wanting to play this because I saw an ad for it in like a... What are those weird magazines in like... Like, it was a computer magazine. Like, very specifically a computer magazine. It was really fucking thick. And... it would, like, the cover wasn't, like, designed like a regular magazine cover where you'd have, like, this big fucking thing. Like, there were a few larger things, but there was also just, like, almost columns of incredibly, like, just lots of shit. Like, it was just, like, here's what's in this magazine, fucking... And just the picture they had on the front was, like, it's executioners, it's ultra-violent. And I was like, fuck yeah. Having played it since, it's a piece of shit. Now, that said, Bloodlust Software did hit pay dirt with, Time Killers. Oh, Time Slaughter, sorry. Yeah, Widget. And it was in there somewhere. Okay. This is just how I imagine every English person who made video games. It's definitely one of the fucking Time Slaughter ones. Yeah, that's the thing, like, the Kinect is like such an amazing piece of hardware. You can probably do a lot of interesting stuff with it. And it would probably be really cool for a lot of... Like, there are a few... like arcade game cabinets that had like a tracking thing so you could like dodge bullets and shit. Like the Kinect would be great for that. Alright. Whose terrible OC will I be? I mean, look, you know, I'm not...
Order now.
Legitimately one of the worst jump kicks I've ever seen in a brawler. Pause. Okay, pause. Jump. Pick up. Attack. I mean, on, like, big sprites, though, you know? Like, that was something back then. You know what the disappointing thing is? There's not even a lot of violence, like blood in it.
Order now.
Like, he started out with a big axe, but I don't know. Doesn't appear to be one.
Go, 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 go.
The hit detection is jank.
Order now.
Imagine what the fuck. So terrible. I love that it's like, you know, we're gonna get by on our art and they can't even draw. And I love that my grapple hit is like a tiny little kick to the shin.
Go, go, go.
Order now.
That's fucking terrible. Like, don't have a bleeding head on the fucking title if there's not blood in the game, you know? Like, just give me that, at least. This may surprise you, but that is getting fucking deleted. That was basically the ancestor to 2003 Newgrounds, yeah. That's like, you know, the cave paintings of 2003 Newgrounds. Which I do have a bit more respect for because, you know, like, it's a little bit like gay N-words from outer space. Where, like, these were made in, like that's 1992, you know? That's 11 full years before 2003 fucking, Newgrounds. Like, you know, you had, A, the tools to make this were borderline non-existent, and B, you know, you had to get it out there yourself. There wasn't just this great glorious system, this hub where you could just go and go, hey, what's a new thing that someone's made that I can look at, you know? Yeah, 90s image comics. Yeah, there's a lot of those vibes. Although 92, pretty early, like in terms of terrible fuck ugly OCs. And I love that one's clearly like it's 2-player and like you can be the other guy, but then it's just like it's clearly about like some kind of fusion of Spider-Man and Punisher. I don't know what that is. I mean, it's terrible. It is fucking terrible. Time Slaughter's a legitimately decent game. Not great, but for a you know, functionally homemade DOS fighting game, fucking amazing.
Oh, Lord.
It's one of those things where I really wish they'd just, you know, like, someone making like a third-party Wiimote for the PC would be really fucking helpful. And just having the Kinect, just like having a basic fucking feature set for having it like interact with just a regular, like, if you could just USB that cunt into a computer, that'd be interesting and useful and fun, and you could do stuff with that, you know? Like, that's the problem. Locking it into like the fucking Microsoft hardware limits shit. I mean, alright, you're gonna get a lot of worrying sex titles, but look, that's just the world. Angie asks if you're new to Mighty Microcomputer Corporation. I'm gonna start a new career. Oh, Angie, it's my first day. Desire initial interview. I'm gonna ask you some questions and hopefully provide some answers as to how you might fit into MMC. What's your first name? Punchlust. What's your last name? Fistgood. What part of the country are you from? Uh-huh. Let's see. I mean, I'd say probably the East. What's your hometown and state? The town of Brisbane. I don't think there's really an equivalent in Australia, because all the good universities in Australia are state. Like, it doesn't have the same. There's not like if you're paying to go to a weird private university in Australia, you're probably being scammed, and I wouldn't recommend it. I mean, I went to the University of Queensland, which is Queensland's like big, you know, sandstone thing. UQ. Huh. I don't think they had just like studying ladies. Who cares? I graduated. Forgot about school and toured Europe. I mean, I didn't do that, but I forgot, you know, I graduated, I was just like, I might go back and get a fucking master's, but I just can't be bothered. This is boring. Why am I doing this? It's the worst New Yorker cartoon ever. Grey flannel fun. 64K of memory. Rise to the challenge of rising to the... Change that sentence. This is why you need to hire somebody with a liberal arts degree. Is they're going to come in and go, that makes you look like morons. Goodbye. I mean, I don't want to call you grey flannel fun, because that's an oxymoron. Yeah, it is impressive the way people can, like, finish something terrible. I start good things and don't finish them. I got an MBA with a minor in the ladies. I want to stress, not minor ladies. Exobius. But does this look like your dream ship? Tell me of your homeworld, Usul. What a fascinating way to start a video game. What am I supposed to say to that? Am I supposed to say anything? It looks like two alfoil rolls coming together. That was illegible. Pew! Huh. Interesting. Oh, oh, wait, whoopity, whoop, whoop. That hurt. No. Alright. Wow. Okay, so I do have weapons, that's nice. None of that works. I don't know why. Alright. None of the things that it said it was going to be doing are doing. And I don't particularly... What a weird... Does this look like your dream ship? Goodbye, Exobius. I mean, It's all right. Yeah, no, this is a Jesus people game. I will say it's nice though for making like Moses look like a classical wizard. You know? Oh, a great Bible study tool. Witness the sovereign hand of God, his chosen leader Moses, and the mighty exploits that brought the Israelites out of slavery and established the written law. Oh, God. Moses can gather holy oil, the armor of God. The whole Moses in the reed basket thing, too, like, that was, like, a trope in literature, well before Moses. So, likely, obviously, bullshit. Like the rest of it. I mean, calling the kingdom of David a kingdom is an enthusiastic overstatement. What am I doing here exactly? Alright. So I'm not allowed to just... Am I not allowed to just kill? I thought Old Testament God was pretty fucking nuts, you know? W! I've just angered him. Stop. Oh, okay. I fucking shot that kind of bunch. What does that do? Huh. Alright. Get him, W's. There we go. Sometimes English beats other things up. Sometimes it's just English is also just a giant slut. It's got that funny little mining game mechanic, and I don't really know why. I don't know what I'm fucking running around collecting M sacks so I can hate gay people 2,000 years later. I fucking didn't build the pyramids either. That was a fucking lie. Just anyone saying that's just full of shit. The people who make, like, Christian media have an absolute incapability to interpret anything beyond the superficial. It's why it has to be this. You know, like, I got a friend who grew up in the fundy fucking community and nearly drove himself mad trying to argue with their, like, fucking opposition to the game Doom. And he's there going, you're a human given the ability to kill demons. You're murdering demons. You're not going to hell to hang out and have a party. You are trying to annihilate the demons. That didn't get in. Couldn't fucking pass the idea that the scary looking monster game might be about murdering demons, which they should nominally be for. Just absolute and just negative comprehension. I wasn't expecting that sentence to follow EXP. I really wasn't. What the fuck? Is this a Korean potato RPG? You know, like Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. That's Jesus shit. It's just these people can't, understand that something can means something else. That little bridge doesn't go there. You'll see it in a lot of other, the other ways that the fundies think too. It says there's just, I don't know. I don't know if it's genetic. There was a guy at my university whose doctorate was on like actual physiological differences in, fundy brains, but whether that's something they're burdened with from birth or something that gets kind of like drilled into them, or it could just be something that primes them, and can be avoided. I just think they're neat, the whole of Korea. Alright, I mean, this is a tragedy because I don't... Mathic? None of this screams potato. Lights just did something weird. That does not scream potato. That screams the opposite of potato. Alright, look, let's just get to it. I don't... Is this potato? Like, I feel like something has gone amiss here. Help me, Cyber Grandpa. Okay. Help me, I'm from another art style. Potato Max. Nah. I don't understand! There's just so much happening here. That guy don't look right. Alright, come on. Let's get to some gameplay. I mean, he's got two functioning eyes and he's a little fucking super deformed. Don't laugh at me, I'm sick. I don't understand. I don't understand what you're saying, but I'm picking a fight with you. Is potato Korean for Epic Mecha? I just don't know. Like maybe it is some weird, like it's a a comedy game and that's like a funny pun or something. Like it might rhyme, you know? I mean, I'm bummed that this is like... This needs a translation, you know? Let me out. Okay. There doesn't appear to be... Like, it's not like there's another fucking... I have to look into that one, because that's... suspicious and moderately confusing. Expediente! Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Look at all these chubby little sprites. Expediente! Like, I'm guessing that's barely, if audible at all. You're not missing anything, and also, now it's super audible. That's great. Fantastic. Thanks, guys. Fucking goddamn. Alright, look, jogger. Alright. I love that it's got the little, like, detailed thing there in a way that nobody could ever read. Kagondo. I don't like anything where the bullets go through, you know? That is fuck awful. That's a homework game. Goodbye, Expediente. Expediente. Expert common knowledge. Alright. I'm not going to make the last 10 minutes if I don't go to the turret, so I'm going to the turret. Alright. Expert common knowledge. How many players? 1. Advanced. Let's see what advanced common knowledge is. Grab bag. Isn't it 5? Oh god, is it lower or higher? I know, I'm pretty sure it's different. I got true. Hey. 41 minus 9 is 32, I think. 35 minus 12 is 23. Well, that was fun. Goodbye. Atoms! The only time I ever did like an actual IQ test, like, because they've got to be instituted by somebody, you know, for as much utility as they have. I did get a really high score, but it was a IQ test for like 15-year-olds. But I had been drinking pretty heavily. Like, I'd had about 4 Twithles. So I think it balances out. Alright. At least we know it's... At least they're not ashamed of their Eastern Europeanness this time, you know? Ah, Christ. Yeah, I don't want to play that anyway. That looks terrible. Exploration. Magic. Simulation and strategy. Autism. I mean, the intro's got to be funny. Why would I want to... Who cares? Ah, yeah, Czechoslovakia doesn't exist, does it? Or did they just change the name? I can't remember. It's so hard to keep track of, like... I'm glad I chose to look at that. That what was clearly, like, a fucking... How they managed to make a sprite look like a still picture on a stick, you know? Like, just... Oh, blah, blah. Up, up, up. That did not need several runs through. We did not need several cuts to the fucking box being loaded on. Sprite scaling. This is about the most interesting that this game will be. That unit, Brain Force. God. I can't tell if this game's trying to be, like, educational or not. I just... Look out for those cunts. This feels like the pixel equivalent of a Terry Gilliam animation. Pew! Slovakia split off the Czech Republic, right? Okay. That stuff cracks me up. You know, it's like there's just a place called Serbia and Montenegro. Like, and it's just very, like, you know, like the housemates of countries. This is still going. Again, what? Is it looping? Are we going back? Oh, God. Wish this hadn't happened. boring. Let's just get into this one. Yeah, it's like that, Columbus is in one of those things. It's like when you talk about, like, Woodrow Wilson being racist, and you think, well, yeah, it was the olden times, he was probably racist. And it's like, no, people at the time considered him racist. It's like, oh. Fucking Columbus was nuts. And it's like, yeah, he was around in like the fucking 1400s or some shit. Everyone was probably, no, like, even they were like, dude. Now I am a space baby. You ever get so high you just become a space baby? Innocent? I mean, it's got the mouse interaction, which is... What? What? Oh, I was moving that, I think. No, how do I go down? I don't want to fucking... Wake up, space baby. I don't quite have the mental Father, why don't you love me? Reminds me of how we, like, put that fake monkey with the video cameras in it into the monkeys. Like, just imagine if just a crude robot baby dropped out of the sky. I'm gonna keep that because I do want to have a slightly better look at it later, but I don't want to look at that now. Hmm. 1983 version, 1990 version. I mean, that does interest me. There's an arcade cabinet. I'm just like in real life, I'm gonna fucking judo chop my fucking bugs. That's fun. I don't have finger lasers, unfortunately. Be a different world if I did. But that's a tomorrow problem. Shan't be worrying about my fucking lack of finger lasers now and the general injustice of existence that I'd be denied such a power. Oy. Yeah, I wasn't quite prepared to see, like, what's inside babies today. Like, that was mildly confronting. That was a mildly confronting detail. All that circuitry. I guess maybe that baby's fontanelle hasn't closed yet. Maybe that's what it is. It's still got the soft spots. That's a testament to just, like, how kind of just broadly premature human babies are born. Skull ain't finished yet. Doesn't matter. That thing gets any bigger, it's not getting out of this woman. Just ship it. We'll fix it with some DLC. That's just set the template for humanity, really. At the moment on my Pocket 3, I'm playing Link Between Worlds, which I think in a lot of ways is one of the better fucking Legend of Zeldas. Like, it is perfectly playable on the 3. There are kind of issues with Citra in terms of how it organizes its shader cache. Like, I don't know what the fuck's going on with it. I don't know if it's a setting I can fix. I don't know if it's like, it doesn't look repairable by any of the other, but like when the shaders are compiled properly, and it just seems it won't preload any of them, and I can't figure out if there's a way to fix that, which is annoying because it does create a cache. But if you've been walking around in game for a little while, enough for it to have like sorted itself out, it runs perfectly. There's no hitches. It doesn't stutter or anything like that. It's just it's a weird issue with how the game fucking functions with shaders. And the 3 Plus just doesn't. I think it might be low RAM maybe. Doesn't seem to have the fucking grunt to be able to brute force it. I'm looking forward to the 4 though, because that'll be me for a while. Size, form factor, it's gonna be a little bit. I mean, I say that it'll probably be like a year or some shit. Anything north of that. As far as I know, there are no serious PS3 emulators for like Android. So if you're gonna try anything north of like PS2 and like Wii, I mean the Nintendo situation's a little bit weird because there'll probably be a functional Switch emulator for Android or some kind of like fucking shenanigans they can get away with there because the thing is an 8-year-old telephone. But otherwise, that kind of PS2 era is about where it's going to top out for a while. Short of like a really impressive piece of fucking work. I mean, you never know. Someone came along and made not only the best Jaguar emulator that there's ever been made, but actually made a way to make the games more fun, which is something even Atari couldn't do. Citra Canary, the most recent one at least, has finally mapped screen swap. Like, you can map it as a fucking button, so you can play games far more comfortably. They just didn't have that for ages, and there was no sane reason why, because swapping screens is just a function for how all of these emulators work. You just had to go into, like, a fucking option and do it, which is fiddly and annoying as shit. Like, to swipe across the screen, click on options, click on screen options, click on swap screens. And, the alternative you were left with was having, like, a, 2-screen on at the same time, which is just a lot of for a lot of the games that I want to play on it, just not necessary. It doesn't help, and then you just got a smaller, uglier view of things. Some of the Citra MMJs had like the mappable screen swap early, but the Citra Nightly, as it stands currently, has solid Vulkan implementation and a screen swap hotkey, so unless there's been an update to one of the other ones, which I haven't seen lately, it's running things the best at the moment. The MMJ situation is like a weird one. I mean, if you can find it on, you can find the Dolphin MMJ 3 on the Internet Archive. It's worth looking up. Everything I've thrown at it runs better. But I mean, like, the nice thing about the 4 Pro is it's powerful enough to just run on Garden Variety Dolphin you get on the fucking Play Store, which is very impressive because you are not running shit on the fucking 3 Plus using Garden Variety Dolphin. So it's nice to see, there's been some developments. But I mean, again, after that, you're looking at getting like, I mean, a Steam Deck price to performance ratio is still really fucking good. Even in Australia, where it's a cunt to get a hold of the fucking Steam Deck, I can go on eBay and get one for like about $550. Were I so inclined, I mean, it's for me, it's a mid-range that I just don't need. Like if I were traveling a lot, like if I were like, like regularly going from place to place, and I needed something, I could see myself, getting something like that as opposed to like just a more powerful laptop, just for the convenience factor. And there's lots of other little details to it as well. But just, I'm kind of waiting on one to because it is possible to use some of the Windows-based ones with an eGPU, but I'm kind of surprised no one's sort of done the thing where they've released one with kind of an accompanying sort of GPU dock, which is something I think this, whatever the fucking, Super Nintendo Switch should be. Oh, German suplex, not even close. Northern Lights suplex is just a pinning predicament. The German suplex will fucking donk a cunt. There's just something about a back arch. It's just great. Because, if you imagine the Switch, if the dock actually did something, if the dock was just, it wouldn't even have to be a particularly powerful fucking graphics card. Just a graphics card, you fucking put it in there, you pick the thing up, you have a handheld that runs things at like a lower resolution and maybe like 30 FPS. Fine for a fucking handheld. You come home, you put the thing in the dock, and you get something that can, successfully manage a modern game. Yeah, like the thing about anything in that Steam Deck category, so that includes like the Ayas and the Irons and the Lenovo's and things, is they're all, they're not something I'd take to work with me either. If I'm just going from home to the office to home, I don't want to bring a Steam Deck to maybe play for like a couple of hours. So it's just too big. The pockets, per their title, can go in a pocket. I can put my fucking thing in my slacks pocket, and it's just happily in there. I attach my keys to it. It's my key ring, and that means you can have it with you as an incidental element of your day, which makes it more useful. It's just like, people enjoy them, and again, if I were like some kind of traveling salesman or some shit, like spending most of my time in hotel rooms, yeah, one of those, a Steam Deck of that size would be like a solid choice. But outside of that, or just a sort of desire to have a fun gadget, I just, don't really need it. People can bitch that a handheld should have the same power. I don't think any of those people would have been buying a fucking Switch. The chip in that thing was old when it was produced. It wasn't even the best version of the fucking, Tegra chip. Like, it was the fucking chip they were using in, like, one of those little boxes. I can't remember which. I think it was one of the NVIDIA boxes. And there already is a distinction between docked and handheld mode. It's not a big one, but it could be a meaningful one, I'm okay, and I could be a bit anal about this myself, but, like, I'm okay with there being a difference between the fucking console at home that has the fucking graphics card and, out of the house. Like, that's fine. I mightn't use it for everything. Also, maybe, like, even having a means to communicate while not docked would be nice, too. Because then you'd open up, like, Wii U and, like, DS, 3DS stuff. But, I'm expecting this from a company that just took fucking, the better part of 5 years to announce that they were going to have Nintendo 64 games on their online service. So, I don't know what the fuck they're doing. They probably won't even release another fucking, system for another fucking 4 years. Or it'll, I don't know, be a new deck of cards. Who fucking knows? Absolutely impossible to fucking work out what they're doing. Alright, where are we at? So, more of, what is it? Link's Awakening DX went up yesterday. Watch it if you haven't. Where are we at? We got 308. Holding steady. So, the trick is to go up to 310, or to at least hold steady until the next month. Honestly, I just want to... Don't sign up if you can't figure out how to have it work month to month. It's just, there's no value to doing that. It's just... All it does is baffle me, and that seems like a long road to walk to kind of just sort of confuse me every now and again. Look, I appreciate the mad commitment, but there could be more creative approaches, I suppose. Alrighty. Where are we? 11:15. Alright. watch the thing, number go up. That's me for the day. Remember, I'll be back 10 o'clock tomorrow, 10 o'clock the next day, and the next day, and the next day, then maybe a break on the weekend, and then the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day. And watch my show, or I'll bash you fucking kids.